Okay, I'm putting this overhead down because the shadow cuts off my face too much. I'm going to make a video on what a lot of House Democrats, rank and file in the Illinois House of Representatives, for decades. If it wasn't decades, it's my understanding that this was going on for quite some time. I don't know what goes on today, but I haven't seen anybody write about it or talk about it publicly. Michael J Madigan was the Speaker of the Illinois House from January of '82 until January of 2021. Yes. All right. I'm trying to make sure I have the dates right. Yeah, it was until January of 21. Anyways, a real fear that rank and file House Democratic members would have would be every year for the budget. All state representatives, especially if you're in the majority party, but even if you're in the minority party, you got to reach out to your party leadership and make sure certain things get included in that budget. You're a representative. It's your job to go to Springfield and get certain funding allocated to help with your constituents. So you had to request a meeting with the Speaker. You do it, be set in advance, and then you come to his office. He does not say, "Hi, Bob, come on in. Hey, Bob, have a seat. Hey, how's the wife doing? Hey, how's Mary doing? How are your kids?" Nothing. He sits down. He stays silent. Walk into that room. "Hello, Mr. Speaker. Hi, in this budget, I would like to get $1.3 million allocated to this program here. This program benefits seniors in my community and low-income children. I'd also like to get, $600,000 allocated for this bridge that, for traffic that is in my district. It's very important for the economic development and all this stuff." You give your spiel. And then at the end of it, if the Speaker wants to acknowledge it or is constructive, he'll say, "Okay, well, thank you. I'm going to include this or that, or I'm going to take this under advisement." If he was not, or if he wanted to send a message to you, here's maybe where I need to back up. Speaker Madigan had staff that would advise literally every House Democrat how they should vote, and every committee vote, every subcommittee vote, every substantive vote on the House floor, every procedural vote on the House floor, every procedural vote in the committee and in the subcommittee. And a lot of times you would have people in the same political party, Democrats, on a subcommittee or on a committee voting different ways on an issue, and that they were instructed to by the Speaker. So there was something about that. You may be playing chess, but you may be playing checkers. Madigan's playing chess. A lot of that was true. So I bring that point up to say, if Madigan wanted to send a message to his rank and file members that he's going to lay the whip on your back, he's going to make an example out of you, you do your spiel, hey, I have to get this money allocated to, for these projects. They benefit my constituents, whatever. He would reach into his drawer, pull out a sheet of paper, put it on the desk, and just move it across the table. And that was every subcommittee, committee, House vote where you voted differently than you were instructed by one of Madigan's minions. And he would continue to be silent, but he would just push the piece of paper to you. So I've had it on multiple sources. Multiple state representatives have said this to me, and how that struck the fear of God into many of these people. So Madigan would do this, and then would continue to not say a thing. So if his office is being wiretapped or even videotaped, what laws is he breaking? He's not. So yeah, he was very manipulative, very obsessed with power, definitely playing 3D chess when a lot of regular people would go in there playing checkers. A funny note on this, I posted this on a Facebook group almost a decade ago. Yeah, approximately a decade ago, except it was in writing and it was more clearly laid out. That day or the day after, I got a call from Attorney General Lisa Madigan's office wanting to interview me for a position I had applied for 2 years ago, 3 years ago, several years ago. The person talking to me on the other end, I'm willing to bet they had no idea the real reason why they were calling me for that job interview. By the way, I took them up on the job interview, and I got a second interview, and I didn't get offered the job. I also did not remove the post either. So that's one of the many ways Mike Madigan would use his means to manipulate and to try to get people to do what he wanted to do. But there were a lot of rank and file Democratic House members who were scared to death that they were going to get, I think they called it the sheet or the slip or something. But it was, you had to request a meeting with Michael Madigan if you wanted to get certain things put into the budget, depending on your relationship with him. And also, while I'm on the topic of Madigan too, almost everything was negotiable with the Speaker if you were a rank and file House Democrat. As I've understood this, and I've had multiple House Democrats tell me this, everything was negotiable except for two things. One, you vote for him as Speaker, and two, you vote for his House rules. So, I think the reason why Madigan was able to stay out of trouble for so many years was that, he knew all the exceptions to the exception to the exception for state statutes. He knew, he knows ways to be very Machiavellian, very immoral, very unethical, and still be in compliance with state law. And he would have attorneys, or he would look it up himself in ways where there was some shelter under federal law. So, all right, I'll get off my high horse. I'm going to make another video, oddly enough, kind of defending the Speaker, or at least raising an eyebrow to some of the stuff. As of the making of this video, for the federal criminal case, the jury has convicted the Speaker on 10 counts, or the ex-Speaker on 10 counts, and he's facing sentencing. So yeah, that'll be the subject of another video, but I will oddly enough be defending Madigan here, and I have anti-Madigan credentials, which I'll talk about at that video. Okay, thank you.